And we continue to follow breaking news out of Tallahassee. 2 people killed and 6 hurt in a shooting on the campus of Florida State University today.
Oh my gosh. You guys okay?
You can hear how shaken up people are. The new details we've been learning tonight as the investigation into the shooting is just beginning. Thank you so much for joining us on First Coast News at 6. Not a very happy day. It's been rough. I'm Jeannie Blaylock.
And I'm Anthony Austin. The Florida State University Police Department holding a news conference in the last 90 minutes, updating us on this tragic situation. I want to talk about 3 things that we know right now. This is the confirmed information that we have. 2 people killed. Not FSU students. However, we haven't received a lot of information about their identities yet. But police say the suspected shooter, identified as 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner, is believed to be a current FSU student and also the son of a Leon County Sheriff's deputy. Eichner was shot and is in police custody tonight. We're told that his injuries are non-life-threatening. Students, faculty, and staff, they're asked to call their loved ones as soon as possible, and students are asked not to return to the buildings for their belongings. They can go back to their dorm rooms, but not back to the classrooms because many campus locations are still considered active crime scenes. They are around the student center. And
we have live team coverage for you tonight from Tallahassee to Jacksonville. We've been hearing from students who sheltered in their dorms and classrooms and parents here on the First Coast who feared for their students' lives.
First, we want to begin with our Heather Crawford. She is joining us live right now near the Student Union, I'm told, on FSU's campus where the shooting happened. Heather.
Anthony, a somber day here in Tallahassee. You can see right behind me here at the corner of Tennessee and Copeland, police have barricades up. It's blocked off. There are multiple crime scenes right now. We have seen students walking around, but there are buildings and there are areas of FSU's campus where students just are not allowed. I've been talking to parents from the First Coast who have students here at FSU today. And I mean, you can only imagine, a lot of parents signed up for those alerts and they got them right around noon and their hearts just sunk when they found out that there was an active shooter here on campus. And I've been talking to a lot of students, and when they got that alert at 12 o'clock, a lot of them thought, this can't be real. Like, is this really a real active shooter situation? And unfortunately, as the hours have unfolded, they've realized, yes, this very much is real. There are real victims, and we know the shooter who was shot is in custody tonight. I want to bring in my friend Sam Sorotkin, who's a senior here at FSU. Sam's like a big brother to my son. Sam, you were one of the first people I called when I found out about the shooting, and you had just been in the student union moments before you got that alert saying active shooter near the student union.
Yeah, so I was studying the student union around noon today. I finished studying, and about 3 minutes after I walked out, I didn't even get this alert yet. I actually had students, a group of girls ran by me and they were screaming and hyperventilating, telling me that there's a shooter. And when I found out at the union, found out it was at the union, I couldn't believe it. I texted my buddies who were in class and I told them, to be careful and not go anywhere. They did not actually believe me, and a lot of commotion was going on at school. Professors freaking out, and no one really knew what was going on. A lot of information being thrown around that wasn't true, and some of it was true, of course.
And I was talking to your roommate earlier, and he was in a classroom, and kind of just describe what he recounted to you being in that classroom.
Yeah, so he received my message before he received an alert, and about 5 minutes later, big alert popped up on the screen, and his professor found out from a different classmate what was going on. They were told to take shelter in the room. They turned the lights off and got low on the ground and hid behind some chairs and desks. I believe he stayed there for about an hour, maybe 2 hours, before police came in telling them that they were able to exit the building now because they were on lockdown. Upon exiting, he told me that he saw police and troops of all kinds. He saw federal troops walking around and casings of bullets and evidence markers. Yeah, he was pretty terrified and still kind of shooken up from it.
And I know, Sam, you've been getting a lot of videos of what was the carnage left after this. I know this is a day you'll never forget, and those images you probably can't ever erase from your mind.
Yes, for sure. There's a lot of videos and things that, definitely we weren't expecting from today. It was very graphic, and you never expect something like this to actually happen, especially to you. Hopefully we can figure out something to prevent this from happening again, but, we'll see.
Sam, thank you so much for speaking with me. I really appreciate it, and I'm so glad you're safe. I'm so glad you're safe. We want to go out now to our Riley Phillips. About 4:30 this afternoon, lots of agencies gathered together to give an update, talk about the rapid police response. And we also heard from the FSU president. Riley Phillips continues our team coverage live from Tallahassee tonight. Riley?
Yes, Heather, and I have moved locations. We want to try to get closer to the student union, closer to the scene. If you can see right down this way where this car is coming from, the student union is straight down this walkway to my right. And there's still heavy law enforcement presence here. We see groups of law enforcement down there. We saw an officer removing caution tape, but still a big police presence here on this. And as Anthony and Jeannie said, we now know the suspected shooter, 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner. He is the son of a Leon County Sheriff's deputy. We know that, according to the sheriff, that he had access to his mother, the deputy's weapons, and that weapon is believed to be used during the shooting. We also know he's a student here, and he was also part of the Youth Advisory Council for the sheriff's office. A lot of agencies are in play here: FBI, Tallahassee PD, and the FSU Police Department. But we also heard from the president of Florida State today. He was very emotional, but he just wanted to let students know that they were all together, and he was keeping them all in his prayers.
We're a strong and united community. We're family. And so we'll take care of all of you. And we'll get through this together.
And he also mentioned there will be counseling available for students on campus as well. We have been seeing quite a bit of students out walking around, not as many as there would be on a Thursday right before exams, but still people out and about right now as well. Anthony, Jeannie.
And Riley, it's Heather in Tallahassee, and I want to ask you, because you have a unique perspective. You were a student at Florida State University when there was a shooting back in 2014. I mean, tell me about that, what that was like, and then from your vantage point here today, covering yet another shooting on campus.
Yeah, so where I am right now is just, a couple feet or a couple hundred feet away from Strozier, the Strozier Library, where that shooting happened. I was a sophomore here at Florida State when the shooting took place. It took place at night. I was actually asleep. My roommates went into my room and woke me up and told me there was a shooting on campus. It was hard to believe. I've never felt unsafe here at Florida State, so it was just shocking to get that news, waking up to get that news. But like in 2014 and like here now, the law enforcement response was immediate. It was quick. And then following the shooting, I just remember all the students really coming together, banding together. We held a vigil a couple days after for the students who were injured at that time. So it really brought the campus together. And it's honestly surreal that I am here now as an adult covering a shooting on campus.
All right, Riley Phillips live for us in Tallahassee tonight. And so right now, very much an active investigation. Roads still blocked off, buildings blocked off here outside of the Florida State University campus after this mass shooting here today. I spoke with one student who told me she was getting in her car as soon as she got the all clear. She was hiding in her dorm room for about 4 hours, finally got the alert on her phone that it was safe to leave her dorm, and she packed up her car and she's headed back to St. Johns County. Her mom said she just wants to give her a great big hug. So many stories coming out of Tallahassee tonight. We're going to stay here. We're going to continue to talk to students, and we'll have a live report coming up for you a little bit later on. Jeannie and Anthony will send it back to you. Oh, and I understand our Christina, before we go back into the studio, we want to toss it back out to Christina Burgess. She is also here in Tallahassee. She's been talking to students and was earlier at the Reunification Center. Christina, tell me where you are now and what's going on.
Hi, Heather. I'm currently on campus. We moved closer to campus and we're by what students here call Landis Green, and I'm right next to Gilchrist Hall as well. I've been told by students and our own Riley Phillips that this is normally an area that's heavily populated by students. Students are usually here hanging out with friends, playing, have a good time. But I'm going to tell you what I've been noticing since I've been standing here. There's been lots of parents coming to pick their kids up right behind me. They've started to develop or start forming a line, and we've seen students coming out with suitcases, with backpacks, with bags, with even their dogs, and it looks like they're getting in the cars and they're heading home. They're coming out of these dorms that are around me, and it looks like they're leaving. Many of them are in groups. They're with their friends. They're talking, but their faces still looking solemn from today. I was over at the Civic Center, the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center earlier today, and that's where the reunification center was for family and friends to come pick up everyone who was getting off of the buses. We had the chance to see some buses come in, and we saw students getting off of the bus, hugging mom and dad, hugging family friends who were coming to pick them up. We also saw faculty members coming out, and I had the chance to speak with a Florida State sophomore who tells me that he's still in shock from today's events.
As the hours went by and I saw the updates and the photos and the stuff that people were going and posting, it just became way more than just real. It became like it was me, like this was my life. Like I'm gonna walk to that same spot in campus, and I know that I'm just going to think about those people that died and people running. It's just a lot.
And Daniel Cerna said he was able to contact and speak with mom and dad, and they're happy to hear that he is safe. Reporting live here in Tallahassee, Christina Burgess, First Coast News, on your side.
Christina, thank you. And FSU has more than 40,000 students. So many people impacted by what happened here on campus today. I do want to give one website. The FBI is asking for anybody, any students out there, any students, teachers, staff who may have videos. You can upload videos before the shooting or during the shooting to help with their investigation on the FBI's website, fbi.gov/FSU shooting. Those videos really could play a key role in helping with this investigation that is very much active and ongoing as we speak. We're going to have more from Tallahassee throughout the night, but right now we'll send it back into the studio to Jeannie and Anthony.
All right, Heather, thank you. And we just heard there, Heather, Christina, Riley, a lot of us have personal connections to FSU, so thank you for your coverage.
We are indeed following breaking news out of Tallahassee, where 2 people were killed, 6 people hurt in a shooting on the campus of Florida State University.
Hands up, go down the hall. Hands up, go down the hall.
So the video you're seeing here, we're seeing the moments that students ran to safety during the shooting. You can see students leaving their classrooms, going downstairs with their hands up, and then leaving the building as police direct them to a common area. Dozens of students gathered, and you can hear some of them saying that they were scared, as you can imagine.
The 2 people killed were not FSU students. Police say the suspected shooter, identified as 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner, is believed to be a current FSU student and the son of a Leon County deputy. Eichner was shot and is in police custody tonight.
Students, faculty, and staff are calling their loved ones as soon as possible. The students are being asked not to return to the buildings for their belongings right now because there's still a lot of buildings, especially there near the student union, that are considered an active crime scene right now.
And we have live team coverage tonight from Tallahassee to Jacksonville. We've been hearing from students who sheltered in their dorms and from parents here on the First Coast who feared for their students' lives.
And we want to go to Heather Crawford now. She is joining us live near the student union where all of this happened at FSU. And Heather, I know you got down there about 2 hours or so ago, and you've been speaking with students. Just kind of tell us the latest information right now.
Jessica and Anthony, we have moved over right beside the Student Center. You can see it right behind me. It is taped off with this crime scene tape, a very active scene here, as we've seen dozens of police officers coming in and out of the scene carrying bags of evidence that they are collecting. They said there are multiple crime scenes across this expansive campus, hundreds of witnesses, and I've been talking to students. We just saw a group of students come bringing some flowers down this way, other students coming and just staring out here at the Student Union Center, looking at what the police activity is going on here, in shock of what happened. And I talked to a student, Sam. He's a senior from St. Johns County who goes to FSU, and he talked about the emotional toll that today has taken on students. Listen to this.
It really didn't seem real. Like, you got some videos of the actual shooter, you got some videos of, your fellow students fleeing. Some of them are on the ground hurt. Very, very just overwhelming today. I think everyone's a little bit drained emotionally, and no one really wants to go do anything. Everyone just kind of wants to be at home.
So many students just still trying to process how this all unfolded right here on the campus of Florida State University. Riley Phillips continues our live team coverage now. She was at the press conference today where police started releasing details about this deadly shooting, and she joins us now. Riley?
Yes, Heather, I also moved closer to the student union. I'm going to step out of the way because we kind of get a better angle of the actual crime scene. So this is the entrance kind of to the student union, and you can see most of it is still roped off. There's still police on scene, but a lot less police officers than we saw about an hour ago. We just actually watched a young lady come and lay flowers down next to the crime scene. Walking around campus too, a lot less people on campus than you would expect on a Thursday night right before exams are about to start. But I did stumble across a small memorial. It seems like students are laying flowers down. Some students were very emotional, obviously just devastated by what occurred today. During that press conference, though, that I was at, we heard from law enforcement. We got the details, but we also heard from the president of Florida State. He said he and his wife stopped by the hospital to say a few words to the victims that were there. But he really just wanted to let students know that they are all in this together and that they will get through this. Take a listen.
We're a strong and united community. We're family. And so we'll take care of all of you. And we'll get through this together.
Yes, and the president of Florida State also said that there are resources available for students who want to take advantage of them. But again, we're out here right next to the scene here at the student union. It's very somber out here, very eerily quiet for a Thursday right before exams. Heather.
It sure is, Riley. Thank you. And so many parents' hearts just dropped when they got the text alert today from FSU, that first one that went out at 12:02 saying active shooter near the Student Union Center today. And they called their children, trying to get a hold of them, making sure they were okay. Our Christina Burgess is in Tallahassee tonight, continuing our team coverage. And she was out earlier today at the Reunification Center where families were coming together just to hug and lay eyes on their children. Christina?
Hi, Heather. We did have the chance earlier to see parents get reunited with their kids as they were getting off the bus over at the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center. I'm currently by the Landis Green and many dorms here on campus right now, and I'll tell you, it's gotten quieter over the hour that we have been here. Earlier, we saw many parents coming to pick up their kids, lots of students coming out of the dorm rooms with their backpacks, their suitcases, their dogs, and their friends, and they were getting in the car. It's just been a really hard day for these students here. I had the chance to speak with Audrey Milligan. She tells me that she's a freshman here at FSU and she's also from Jacksonville. She was in her macroeconomics class, which she tells me is right by the student union, when she heard that there was shots fired and there was an active shooter on campus.
They had us leave with our hands up and I was shaking and crying, and then I ended up I saw a body on the ground being tended to. I don't know if they were dead or alive. I knew they were injured and that there was medical attention being given to them, and I kind of just blocked the rest out from that.
And Audrey's parents, she's told me that they were on the way from Jacksonville to pick her up and take her back home to be there for the rest of this weekend. I know Heather and Riley also mentioned that there were students on campus with flowers to take this memorial. In the place that we're standing right now, we've also been seeing a group of students that have had flowers in their hands walking into campus to go lay them at the memorial as well. Many students here just telling me that they're in shock that something like this could happen at their school. Reporting live in Tallahassee, Christina Burgess, First Coast News on your side.
And that is what so many students are telling me as well tonight, Christina. And so as police are behind me right now processing the evidence from this mass shooting today, we know that classes here at Florida State University are canceled today and tomorrow. And as Christina said, a lot of kids just getting in their car, packing up their belongings and going home for the Easter weekend just to see their families and spend time at home as they process what unfolded here. We're going to be here throughout the night talking to more students, and we'll have a live report tonight at 11. In Tallahassee, Heather Crawford, First Coast News. Anthony, back to you. And I'm Heather Crawford live in Tallahassee, where a mass shooting unfolded here just before noon. The call came in at 12:02 p.m. That's when I should say the FSU University alerted students that there was an active shooter very close to the student union right behind me. You can see right behind me there's an SUV. Police on the scene still processing, still collecting evidence. We know that 6 people were injured, 5 of those shot, 1 person injured, not shot. And sadly, 2 people died here on the campus of FSU today. Police telling us they were not students. We know the shooter was shot. He is in the hospital recovering, expected to survive. He is the son of a Leon County Sheriff's deputy, according to police. We're going to stay on scene and we'll have the very latest at 11. Live in Tallahassee, Heather Crawford, First Coast News.